Evening, people. So Meadow has been baled, well mowed and then baled. So these will be here for not very long probably. Once we've had this week, we've got, I think, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to be extremely hot for the UK, sort of 34 degrees Celsius. So that should be fun. Not, I might go and get a haircut. So I'm down here. I've basically gone through the photos. So I did I was trying to plan on keeping it going for a month, but actually it's turned out very, very difficult to do a daily photo challenge, as in go somewhere with a camera, take some photos, edit the photos, film a video and edit a video whilst working, and everything else comes in life as well. So hats off to anybody who can do that every single day in a worthwhile manner for YouTube. But I got to 2 weeks and it was a really nice experience, and you know, it's been really, really quite good. And you know, it's been a bit of an eye opener. It's got me back into taking photos, which is what I was planning on doing, because basically, like I said before in the other videos, I've been in so much video now that I actually really rarely take photos for myself. So yeah, it made me get out with the camera, do a bit more, and it's been really nice actually. And even went out with David, another photographer, and went for a walk and everything like that. So I'd quite like to do a bit more of that through the summer, and into the autumn, into the winter, and into spring as well, to try and meet up with others when we've got time and when the weather's behaving itself. So the other downside as well was, and I don't really care about the rain, we had some seriously moody weather and heavy rain as well, thunderstorms and everything as well. So that kind of hindered a few things as well. But anyway, this is a video basically going to go through everyone's work that you've sent in on their email. I'll probably do another one actually at some point, but for now, just going to do this one and see what the reactions are from everyone. And it's not about criticising people's work, it's about actually inspiring others to get out with their camera. So it's not about me saying, oh, you should have done this or should have done that, or maybe try this. If you want some help, feel free to ask, and it's only going to be my opinion, because everyone else's opinion could be valid or invalid, the same as mine is. So there we go. It's basically just to show off some other people's work, the viewers, other friends and stuff that, you know, that I meet up with and stuff, just to see a little bit of work. So I think about 6 people have sent in, 6 or 7 people have sent in some photos, and I'm basically going to put them up on the screen, chat about them for, you know, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds per picture, and yeah, just look at them really. And it's just inspirational, because everyone looks at something slightly differently. Everyone has a good idea of what they like, but also we live in a world, we're very lucky, we live in a world that is pretty big and it's very different all around the world. So depending on where you are, the time of the day, the seasons and all that sort of stuff as well, to technology, weather, you know, nature and all that sort of stuff. You know, we all like to photograph different things. I'm a bit of an all-rounder, so I try and take my hand to pretty much everything. But you know, a lot of people out there might just go, right, I only do wildlife, or I only do macro photography, or I only do astrophotography. And there's some amazing photographers out there who do so much, and it kind of annoys me, because I'm a bit of I like to do everything, but I know I'm not the best of one area. And I see some people's work and you're thinking, bloody hell, that is incredible, you know. And as much as possible, yeah, editing is great, and you know, manipulating images and using AI and stuff like that, yeah, great. But I quite like trying to get as much correct in camera as possible before starting to edit. One, it means your workload is very small if you can get away with not doing too much editing or, you know, processing. You know, if you can just literally shoot and pretty much use it, it's going to be great, you know. But obviously there's certain things you can't physically do. You know, you know, with the astrophotography, a lot of the time you have to take the sky shot and then you'll do another shot of the ground, depending on, in the dark obviously, you might do a little bit of light painting or whatever, and then quite often you swap the skies to suit. But you know, there's other things you can do as well. You know, the list goes on and on. But yeah, so anyway, this video is obviously about other people's work, not mine. So please enjoy. I'm just going to put everyone's first name and hopefully I got the pictures in the right order. So if I get it wrong, I'm so sorry. But there we go. I had loads of emails, multiple ones from multiple people, which is absolutely fine. I don't mind, you know, but I've picked the ones I kind of, just to kind of vary it around a little bit. This time of year you do get a lot of wildlife, which is fine because that's the time of year. We've got lots of wildlife going on, the breeding seasons, and the weather's much nicer at the moment, so you've got a lot going on. So wildlife is quite a big area of photography at the moment. But there's still people out there. You know, we went for a walk and we've done some landscapey stuff. We've done some, you know, just general photography of lots of different things really. So there we go. Anyway, over to the computer and we can basically have a look through the photos and see what people have been taking really. So really interesting. Anyway, please click the subscribe button, little notification bell as well, and then obviously you'll know when I put another video up and I'm getting attacked by bugs. And yeah, go and check out some other videos that I've done. I keep it as real as possible. I don't edit very much, especially the videos, and you'll probably get me going and stuff like that a little bit. But I try and keep the videos realistic and, you know, real world. So, you know, coming out here in a lovely evening is really quite nice, you know. So yeah, it's one of those days. It's been absolutely stunning. So anyway, let's hop on the computer, go and have a look at those photos. Right, so starting off with some of Alan's photos. Really nice one of the bumblebee on a thistle, I think it is. Love the colours, depth of field's really nice as well. Obviously he's done a bit of a square crop. All these photos I've not touched. They've been sent to me as the photographers have, you know, wanted to deal with. They've obviously edited them or cropped them or done whatever they want to do to them. So yeah, it's definitely definitely a cool shot. I like the obviously the focus on the face and everything like that. It's always cool. But yeah, wildlife at this time of year, insects, is pretty cool. So he was obviously out this day looking for interesting colours and things like that, I imagine. I think that's a normal bee, I think, possibly. Not sure, but upside down one, this one. So yeah, the colours are cool, the nice pink and the greens and the yellows and everything look really good. And then obviously went to this house or country estate. I'm not sure where it is, but again, really quite cool. Like the shadows and the obviously lots of rich green. I think it's because of the leaves and everything all new, you know, for this year. They've got plenty of life and plenty of colour in them at the moment, so everything's very green. This shot here is really quite cool. I like this one because the shutter speed is obviously slow enough that you've got a little bit of motion on the wings, but still nice and sharp on the rest of the bee there and the flower and everything. Shooting quite a shallow depth of field, but it works really, really nicely, I think. I think that's a swallow. It could be, actually no, that's a house martin, I think, isn't it? Could be wrong, but again, he's obviously shooting straight up at it. These birds, either a swallow or a house martin, are extremely hard to stay with and photograph. I've struggled recently trying to get some good shots of them. So again, here another one. This is a swallow. So yeah, it's not easy, and it's preservation, whatever you call it. You have to persevere with it. That's what I was trying to say. To actually get used to following their techniques and their movements and things like that, to actually get the shots, and it's not always easy. This is really cool. It's a couple of Eurofighters and a big jet with a Union Jack on it. I really like this one. Just got the colours and everything just work really quite nicely. It's just pretty cool. It's, yeah, not sure what the occasion was, but there we go. This one here I think works as well. Slightly different angle, obviously, as they were cruising over, and obviously the lighting's slightly different as well, slightly brighter. But there we go. Onto Steve's shots here. So this is a flower head of some sort, nice and close. Plenty of detail there, which is really nice. I think the colours really work this time of year. It just shows you how amazing nature is when you see all the reds, the yellows, the pinks, the blues, and, you know, everything else that's going on. It does look really, really nice. And yeah, another flower head shot here, but obviously it's closed. It's going to be opening once the light obviously gets onto it long enough. But again, I'm not going to tell you what cameras these were used because it's not important. The important part is that these photographers have been out. They've made the effort to walk around and look around and, you know, take some shots, and, you know, they're just enjoying themselves, like, you know, like I do, and I think, imagine you do too. This shot here I quite like because obviously it's a nice rocky garden with nature and all the flowers and everything, the big daisies, I can't remember what they're called. Plenty going on. It's yeah, it's a nice image. And yeah, it's just lots and lots going on. So actually, you can actually look at it for quite a while and see what all the different shapes of the rocks and bits and pieces like that. The only thing, one thing I would say is a little bit of metal or something here on the right hand side. I'm not sure what that is, but again, still cool shot. And yeah, just makes you feel like spring and summer. Apparently, this little chap here is the one that keeps emptying the bird feeder. But again, it's not always about being artistic, and it's sometimes just about getting that shot. And sometimes you just have half a second to actually focus and compose your shot and actually photograph something. Onto a bug this time. Not sure what that is, but he's kind of cool with his big long antennae. Possibly a long tongue, or is that? No, I think that's a bit of the flower. But yeah, kind of a cool thing. Nice to see some nice close-ups as well. This is what I'm talking about. It's just a varied load of shots. I've not asked for anything in particular. People have sent what they, would like to send. Like I say, I'm not cropping in on any of this. I'm not zooming in on this. So if you're watching on a big TV, you can probably appreciate it better. But obviously, nice butterfly there, and there's also a bee down below on the left-hand side, but obviously out of focus due to depth of field and things. But again, nice colours. I rarely actually shoot in portrait. Well, I generally shoot landscape. So Gareth has sent these shots in. Moorhen, I think it is, and it's baby, which is really cool to see. A lot of the time is being in the right place at the right time, and just really nice shot there. It's real world, and really really cool. So there we go. Some kind of warbler, I think it is, on a bramble, which is really cool. Lovely shallow depth of field, and all the colours and everything on the bird are just. But it shows you their camouflage works really well, because he sort of almost matches the bramble a bit and the leaves and things as well. So that's really really cool. So yeah, really nice shot there. I like that. And now on to David, a friend of mine. We went for a walk down along Eastbourne. So some of these shots here you may have seen similar in my video, but these are all David's shots. So this one here I really like because of the colours, and he's gone for a sort of a darker feel, I think, on this, but the colours work really nicely, especially those flowers just look awesome. So yeah, really really nice shot there. There was a padlock thing on the pier, so it's a bit like in Paris, I think. They put the padlocks on the bridge and stuff like that, and we just walked around the corner and sort of discovered it. So yeah, he was obviously looking at colours and angles and things like that, which is really nice. And on to the next one, which is sort of a thistle type flower, and there's a bee there. He challenged himself to, and this is the only reason I know what camera he's using, because obviously they're with him. He's got an A704, and that was the 85mm Sony lens. So he wanted to challenge himself for one focal length, and just go for that. Where I cheated on, I used the RX10. Again, more flowers, loads and loads of texture, which is really cool. And these are just, there's thousands of these flowers in one big bush, even though they're quite big. But again, nice colours. And everyone's got their own view on what looks good to themselves. Everyone's got their own view of what they like. So I think it's very important that we create our own style. Again, another shot here, up onto actually the Grand Hotel in Eastbourne there, with a Union Jack flying, really nice in black and white. Actually, that works really quite well. Slightly out of focus foreground, which looks really well, and then obviously moody sort of hazy sky as well, so that works quite well. This is a Martello tower, and it's actually the roof part of it and the single cloud there, and I think it just works quite nicely as a bit of texture, man-made stuff versus nature. It's kind of cool. Yeah, you could possibly get a different shot like that if the sun was coming down behind it and things like that. So there's loads of options. Can't remember what the statue was called, but again, nice cool shot. Sea in the distance, you can see the horizon. One little tip for anybody: if you're taking photographs with anything to do with water, try and keep your horizon level, or if you're getting artistic, go through a corner or in line with a corner to make that artistic look. So I don't know if I want to pronounce his name correctly. Tobia, I don't know. But really nice photo of this. I really like this. His car, but all the colours of the flowers and everything work really nicely. And it was, yeah, it's really really quite a cool shot. The only thing I would say is a shame about this little branch going up through the middle, but you can't have everything. And yeah, he could have edited it, but he's left it in there. I was just going to read you this, and in the email that he sent me, and he said he didn't take these on the 1st of June, but he said I've also been sick, so really haven't had a chance to use my camera. So this is my pictures. There is more than one, but you can choose which you like. I've put all of them in. Um, these are probably the better ones I've taken. I started my photography journey in the summer 2024 with the RX10 Mark IV, inspired by a friend, and then you later. It's a perfect camera to learn with, and I love the cars, planes, nature, animals, and landscape. I've been lazy, but I also it's still a weird feeling going out with a camera in the hand in public. I'm trying though. I hope you like them and pick one of them. Thank you very much for your videos. So, and which inspire me to take more photos. So that's a really nice, a nice thing for him to say, and it's also nice to hear what other people think and what other people are doing. You know, so hopefully he's better now and he's out with the camera a little bit more. But yeah, it's nice to be able to hear what people are doing, and it shows you we're all different. We're all doing different things, and yeah, there we go. So onto a nice, I guess it's blossom. Nice whites, which is people don't necessarily like white, but I think white can really stand out in the crowd sometimes. And sometimes it looks good in black and white. Sometimes you can pull the greens up or dull the whites down to kind of make a contrast and stuff like that. But here we go. So bunny rabbit looks like he's trying to play hide and seek. It's photography of wildlife, especially if you just happen to turn around and there's like, oh, it's a bunny, and you quickly take a photo. Sometimes you just need to stand and wait, and hopefully it will move. But this bunny could have just sat there and not done anything, or he could have legged it. So it's always difficult. This one here is a jackdaw, which I really like the photo. Possibly would have cropped in a little bit more if you could. But other than that, I think it's a really nice shot because he's looking straight at the camera, and it's kind of cool. Nice soft background as well, so that works really quite well. But there we go. So on to the next ones, which are with Ian. So Ian sent this one. I think is that possibly a slow worm? I'm not sure. Is either that or a small snake? But another thing, this is one of the things that you've got to think about. If you've got a camera with you as much as you possibly can, you just don't know what you're going to see. Sometimes you just haven't got a chance to be artistic. You can just snap a shot and you go, well, I've captured that and I can show it to people. And that's obviously what photography is about. This one here, I think possibly in his garden, one of the small birds, can't remember what they're called, but yeah, really nice little shot there. Nice blurred background, and obviously the bird is the focal point. So yeah, nice shot. The light's pretty nice as well. Obviously look relatively sunny. So yeah, a nice day out. And this one here as well, in the shade, which sometimes is good, sometimes bad, and it can be a little bit difficult to actually get the shot. But yeah, I think that's a hawthorn bush possibly with the spiky bits, which is never nice if you put your hand in there. But yeah, there we go. It just shows you how camouflage birds can be, though, because if you could walk past it and never see it, but because they're quite noisy, they do tend to make themselves, you can find them quite easily, especially the small birds chirping away, but they're quite skittish. So there we go. Anyway, that's everyone's photos. Let us know in the comments which ones you like. Obviously, it's not a competition, but we're here to support each other and give each other inspiration and, get each other out taking photos. And at the end of the day, sharing our work is really nice to do. And we can talk about cameras, we can talk about, our favourite subjects, and we can talk about, which cameras we might like to buy or which lens we'd like to buy next, or is there something coming that you might want to upgrade to, or are you thinking about going back to film? Or, there's loads and loads of things to do. Are you thinking about going on holiday? Are you thinking about going, getting an underwater camera, for example, or a drone? And, there's so much we can do in photography. We are spoilt for choice nowadays with the digital stuff, and it's just, once you've got the kit, you never want to get rid of it, I think. And, it's, for me, I just want to be out as much as I can, taking photos and enjoying life. And, if I can do it with others or involve others, it's just really nice to do. So please get a subscribe button, little notification bell as well. Probably do another one of these in the near future. But maybe I'll set a subject up. So, it might be like landscapes or, a wildlife one, or, cars or whatever. It could be something, as a fixed idea, but there we go. Unless you've got any ideas yourself, leave a comment down below. But let us know which ones you like in the comments, and we'll see you soon for another video.